All right, folks, I have something very special for you today. This right here is the Elvis unit. This is the ambulance that carried Elvis away on the day he passed away. Took him from Graceland to the hospital. This ambulance, by the time you see this, it's already being shown live at the Tiger Man Museum in Memphis. So go check it out. Billy Stallings, the spa guy, the man responsible for bringing this ambulance back into the public eye and putting it into the museum. And I got a chance to interview him as he was cleaning it up. So I hope you enjoy the video, and go check out Tiger Man Museum in Memphis. Do you remember the first time that you gained an interest in the ambulance, wondering where it was, if it was still around?
Yeah, that's a video where I was with Mac McQueen. If you look on my channel, there's a video about me interviewing a guy that had got the defib machine. His name was Mac McQueen. And you know, whenever you're trying to think of stories and also Elvis vehicles, of course the ambulance would pop up in that barrage of vehicles. Elvis owned a lot of vehicles, so when you're thinking about the different things that could be out there, there's vehicles that are gone that nobody knows where they're at. There's vehicles that are in private collections that people haven't seen in a long time, and then there's vehicles that you never really knew even existed outside of that moment in time where they were there. You know, Elvis didn't own this,
right?
But this is part of his story. It's a huge part of his story because it was, you know, like you said earlier, everybody's appointed a day to live, you know, to be born, and everybody's appointed a day to die. This vehicle was on Elvis's day to die. So this was a big day in his life. Potentially took his last breath in this vehicle, or as probably many others did. That's the other thing. This wasn't just one thing. This was a lot of people's lives.
That's true.
This thing saved a lot of people's lives, but a lot of people's lives ended in this vehicle or with this vehicle.
People that the world doesn't know.
That's right. So this thing tells a lot of stories that are bigger than it is, you know, from a spiritual standpoint, and also from a regular standpoint. That thing is full of water. You see that? Doggone it. I hope that runs out.
What do you anticipate? And of course, there'll be a lot of varied responses. What do you anticipate Elvis fans? What would their reaction be, you think, mostly or generally, when they see this and walk up to it and walk around it?
Well, I hope that it will help them to realize that Elvis was a real person. That's one thing. Now, there's going to be people that, you know, I've been doing this for many years, so there's a lot of haters. There's just people in the Elvis world, for whatever reason, that just, they enjoy hating instead of just enjoying the history.
Casting blame.
Yeah, why? I don't understand, but that's not, you know, I can't even begin to try to understand it because it makes no sense. But it's a huge thing. It's not a little thing. It's just how it is. And but there's going to be people that, you know, like, that's not appropriate. But you know what? It's part of the history. I think it's an important part of the history. It tells a story. It's something that nobody's ever seen before because they didn't know it was literally a thing. And I think it's important. So I saved it. And because she had no idea, you know, we didn't go into that, but her husband had passed. So this thing's sitting in the backyard rotten. They have no idea what to do with it. They don't realize, I mean, they know that it was the Elvis thing, but they've had it in their yard for 27 years. So to her, the widow, Pam, this is just a thing sitting in the backyard that it's something else she's got to deal with, you know, after her husband passed away. And so on many levels, it helps her not to have to deal with this. There was one photograph that was sold in 1977 for $100,000. And if you go back and look at that photograph, there's something very telling in that photograph that you'll see on this vehicle, and that is